We off to the next one. Talking about sons. Boosie's going through his legal troubles. He pled guilty to a gun charge with the feds. He's facing up to 15 years. Not looking good for Boosie. Charleston White was seen online praying for him to get close to the max. Laughing, joking. I think his reasoning behind that was because of how Boosie's, got Marlo Mike in prison as far as him being Boosie's hitman. Tootie Raw, Boosie's son, said, hey man, I can't wait to see Charleston White. Charleston took it to hell and even threatened to shoot him and take his life. I thought that was interesting because of the dynamic. One, Charleston, you old as fuck. Tootie Raw is young. But also the dynamic of somebody stepping in and not allowing this to happen. I think we see this shit too many times. We understand that Charleston is a troll, but he do be saying good shit a lot. And he do be right a lot, even though his delivery is crazy. But as he explained on the Cam Newton show, his delivery is that way because when he wasn't speaking with that tone, people weren't listening. I want to know how did y'all feel about this situation? Did y'all see this? Did Charleston overstep? Did Lil Tootie overstep? Who we got? Go ahead, Fresh.
Yeah, I mean, the same thing I say about Charleston White all the time. Does he say some things that resonate within the community from time to time? Yes, but he's a caricature and he's knowingly playing a caricature. That does not excuse him from the results of the caricature. And that's where I always disconnect with him. This too is a man who also was a snitch. I need y'all to recognize that. Like, he also was all these things. So, like, he comes from the vein of, like, he's speaking on it, cause I'm a snitch too, and all this stuff like that. But then he tries to purport as if he's, like, a real dude, but then he tries to call out stuff. It's like, bro, just give the information out. Like, this is that Tootie Raw, that's Tootie Raw's father, right? So he's gonna say something to you. Right, like if you're wishing on his father's downfall, no matter his father's stupid or whatever he's done, and you're saying, I hope he gets the max and all this stuff like that, like who's not gonna respond to that? Like within their family, like who's not gonna say something back to Charleston White? So a lot of time, like he throws stones and hides his hand behind the legalities of the law, but he wants to play in the streets and then hide behind legality. I'm not with that. I'm with that if you're gonna purport, like enrichment for the community, that you speak it, you walk it, you actually do it. He wants to be a character. Like I look at him as the other side of Umar, right? And I'm gonna be quick about this. Umar has a lot of great knowledge. Umar does not want to just enrich the community. He wants to be praised. He wants to receive the glory of enriching the community. People who actually want to enrich the community don't care about glory. They want the glory comes from the community being enriched. The same thing with Charleston White. He is far more of a grifter than he is a thinker. Does he have knowledge? Yes. He is not dumb. But he'd rather be a caricature and be more for the money and for other things than enrich the community. So calling out all these dudes and snitches and stuff like that, yes, that's something that does need to be done. But then the caricature of now telling somebody their son and he goes too far about the stuff, the way he says it and the stuff he does on entertainment, then you lose people. You lose the plot of what you're saying. It loses conviction. And that's my issue with a lot of these dudes who try to combine the entertainment with what they're doing. So that's my issue with Charleston White. With on that, because that's still somebody's dad, and Tootie Raw is going to say something. Now, that doesn't mean he's right, but that's his father, so he's going to respond.
I got a question because, like I said, he was on
Mm-hmm.
Cam's show, and Cam asked him about his tone and his delivery. And he explained it in where he said, when I was out here getting laws changed, and I was working with congressional members and on the cover of journals and shit like that, nobody gave a fuck. Nobody listened.
Exactly,
And
though.
then now I'm talking this way, and now it's all your delivery, but nobody's talking about the degeneracy that's promoted in the community. Y'all just want to talk about how
I
I
think they
speak
are, though,
about it
Rashad.
instead of
But
the
my thing
actual
is, that's my
thing.
point. They are talking about the degeneracy. Like I said, my thing is, they are talking about the degeneracy. He's not the first person to call these things out. My thing is, he wants to be a part of it on the entertainment side. He wants to receive the benefits of the entertainment side of it while still also calling it out. You cannot participate in it and also call it out. Brother, why do your name need to be known for you to make change? When you were working with congressional members, that was the prestige. The fact that you were getting laws changed, that you were making things better. So you are being dual-minded. You're not standing, like it's just like Umar. Like, you're not getting that school off the ground, all these other things happening because you want the prestige. Other people who are close to them have talked about this. How you have knowledge, but you want glory. You don't want it to actually get better for the people and actually call things out. Cause real change happens out in the street. Like that young brother that called out Roland Martin, who has that school for change for boys. He doesn't care about, like the prestige of it. He cares about actually making change in boys in the black community and in people's lives. Like these people want to be a part of the entertainment value.
Go ahead,
Yeah, you're
ODB.
wrong, bro. Have you ever changed the law? You ever been a part of working with congressional members to change the law? You speak well.
I have, yes, sir. I have here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I've changed multiple
Okay.
things in Concord, North Carolina, when it comes to the school system, when it comes
So
to
you
certain
would
things. I'm not the one
so
to
then you would
So I'm
understand
not the
like
one to do that
no,
with though.
you
So
don't
I'm not
got to
the one
get
to do that
emotional,
with.
bro. Like I'm asking you
No,
a
I'm
question.
not
I got
emotional. I'm
another.
not
Actually,
emotional.
I got another question for you. You don't
No,
got to
I'm
be.
not emotional
You told me
because
you
you
did,
put
bro. I
forward
said you
something.
speak well, bro. I believe that you
No,
did. I 100%
no,
believe you,
I'm
bro.
saying I didn't get emotional. I'm saying don't do that, brother. You tried to do the last brother. I'm saying just state your point and let that represent it. Don't tell me I'm wrong because I represent it with
I didn't
facts.
tell you was
Go ahead
wrong.
and
I
take your
was
piece.
actually. I'm about to ask you another.
That's
Yeah,
exactly
I'm
what
about.
you said, ODB. You said you're
Oh, I
wrong.
said you're wrong. My bad. I'm a little high. Okay. Yeah. So I said, okay, if you know how to change raw laws and everything like that, you know what I mean? You know how difficult it is, correct? Like to go do that.
Yes,
The time, the
yes.
consistency. So you would have to say like, there's something commendable about Charleston White taking all this time before he hopped into being a character to do the same thing that you said you're doing to affect the community, right?
What? Okay. So what are you saying that goes
You would
against
have
what
to,
I said?
that has to be applaudable. Like you would say that's something like that's good. Like
That has to
that's
be what? No, it doesn't, brother. Because I don't care about glory. What I cared about those
no.
laws that changed
I'm not
when it
talking
got
about
better for
Charleston White, the
black people.
character. I'm not talking about the character. I'm saying for him
That
as
was
a
the whole point.
lawmaker, working with congressional people, you know what I mean? That's good, right?
Rashad, yo, so I said that, right? I said that.
Yeah, that's
Get
good.
your point off.
That's
You don't have
good,
to
right?
answer
So like, I'm
everything.
pretty much just saying that to say like, you still did all of this work and like, you see the degeneracy in the community. It's always like y'all half stepping people that make these false equivalent. Dr. Umar stole money from black people. Charleston White didn't steal any money from black people. You would know the makings of somebody who works with congressional people to make laws. I don't know that. I'm a contractor, but you would know what that takes. And you know how in a certain type of way, how they would talk about this man. If he stole money, it was defrauding people out of money. He didn't do that, bro. Charleston White, you don't like his delivery. But you also don't have a problem with these kids that are getting killed. You don't want to have a direct solution
Did
for
he hear
that.
me
You
say I
want to
was in
go
the
through.
school system? Did he
You would
hear me
know.
say?
Listen,
Did he hear
because
me say that?
and then sometimes, listen, people, let me not say that so you don't gotta hop off your mind. People don't want to have a direct solution for that. You know what I mean? People want to stop the bad things in urban culture, but then y'all have a problem with his delivery of how we talk about Young Thug. Y'all want to have a protection for Boosie. Boosie is not like, I like Boosie for real, on a personal. I listen to Boosie for real, but what he represents is not something that I'm about to go to bat for like that. Just point blank, period. In my
But
age, well, where I'm at as a 30-year-old black man. Boosie, if you got caught with running guns this grown ass age,
And he
you know
know
what I
he ain't
mean?
supposed to have no guns.
You're not supposed to have no guns, bro.
Stupid
That's on.
shit.
Hey, hold on, but yeah, I got you. But hold on, that's on you. Now your son, you know what I mean? Of course, I don't want to hear nobody talking about killing each other. But your son, bro, you know what I mean? You brought again on your father. You brought them up looking a certain type of way, even though they're suburban kids, bro. Now they talking about shooting and shit, and you're entertaining entertainers, bro. I have a problem with him saying that, but I don't really have a problem with Charleston White in totality. I think y'all need to quit like boo-hooing on the messenger because y'all not really brave enough to do it yourself. For real. That's what it comes down to. A lot of people not brave enough to really do the things to be courageous that they need to do to affect change immediately. You know what I mean? But y'all and it's cool setting up laws and shit like that, but letting people know like, hey, Young Thug is a caricature and he's a snitch and all of this shit that they've been putting in front of your face is fake. I'm gonna go ahead talk crazy about it was necessary, bro. So like you saying that whole character phase of Charleston White is unnecessary. I disagree with that, bro. Like, yeah,
Rashad,
fundamentally.
if I can get 30 seconds quickly, because like you didn't go against anything I actually said because I actually do those things in the community. What I spoke against was the fact when I made the connection between him and Umar, they want glory and praise. Those who actually just want change don't care about being glorified within the change. They care about the results of the community getting better. When I made changes, when I helped other are other city councilmen and things of that nature, I don't care about it because I didn't do it by myself, but I helped. I was boots on the ground and I care about the change actually happening. Like I work in the school system now. I work in an affinity group with young black boys now. That's why I spoke about the young man who's on the show with Roland Martin, King something, who has been able to do stuff with grassroots with donations, and he's never asked mass media for anything. And he said, and he's talked about Umar. He's like, I don't disagree with Umar and stuff, but I'm not
No,
going
he
to go about
trolls
that.
every time he makes a post on Instagram.
I'm
He
not, I'm
troll
not,
and make a.
I'm not
So
going to go about
so
that.
with
He's
that same
affected.
tactic that you talking about, he uses, bro. He said, "Hey, like I'll probably go pull up a post where he said he's bringing up some like trendy shit, some controversial shit, like on some, or maybe even like agreeing on some conservative shit." And he's trolling, and then he starts talking about the 4X for boys school. Like, and I rock
Conservatism
with that.
is
But
not inherently
what I have
bad,
a
brother.
problem with is I think there's a group of people that are not courageous enough to affect direct change the way Charleston White is
Oh my
doing
God, bro.
it.
This man
And
talking
y'all
about
got a
Charleston White
problem
like
with it. Y'all
Malcolm
don't
X,
like the
bro.
way that he's doing it, but
All
y'all
right,
not
hold on, hold on,
courageous
hold
to
on,
do
hold on,
it.
hold on.
We
One
talking about
second, ODB,
Malcolm X.
because and then we're gonna get to
Not
what's
Malcolm
my
X,
guy
bro.
name?
Don't do that,
Negro
bro.
Black Knight.
Charleston White is a buffoon, bro.
But so
It's
you're
necessary.
saying,
We need that, bro.
hold on, wait. I think we need the actual work, right? I don't think we need the antics. And you're saying that they're one and the same, and I don't necessarily think so for everybody, right? There are some people that can separate, the tone from the actual message. But I think we've seen on a daily basis that a lot of people can't, right? Even if I have the best intentions for ODB, if I say something in a way that you can't receive the message, I don't necessarily know if you will receive the message. And so Charleston White is saying these things in which I'd said from the beginning, he has a lot of validity in his mindset, his talking points, and his thought process. But when you're saying it like this, I don't necessarily think it's going to go over well for the community, because we now only see you as the character. When people talk about Charleston White, they talk about the antics. They don't talk about his work. They don't talk about the message. They talk about him saying that he gonna kill Tootie Raw. They talk about how he's calling people a snitch. They talk about how he is, saying he gonna beat somebody up, or he's in the ring, Aiden Ross show promoted. So I think that even he's getting lost in the sauce,
No,
and where his eye is off the
no, I think
prize.
y'all niggas are
And so
lost in the
now we
sauce,
only
bro.
know him as this one
I think
person.
y'all niggas is lost in the sauce. Like, for one, like you was saying, like, I agree with what you saying, but I don't think you're looking at it at a larger scale. When he was very first started, like he said, nobody was listening to him. Well, and what I gotta disagree with, when we had a conversation about Charleston White, it always is this thing. Like, oh, he's good for the community, so we do end up having these type of conversations when they based around Charleston White, which I feel like are necessary. And then I gotta ask y'all a question. So y'all don't think it was necessary to humanize the caricatures like of rap stars like the Dirks, all of the, and humanize them and say, okay, if you're a street dude like Dirk and apparently you really was killing people, guess what? You could be going to jail for real life. If you was a fake one like Young Thug, you gonna end up snitching, being like, to demystify this bullshit that's been affecting our community, that's been coming out of the music, bro. Like, I think that all of that shit was necessary. Somebody did need to point that out, and that's not going to be done through legislation. Somebody just gonna have to call that out. You know what I mean? He's been the liaison for that, bro. Everybody got their role. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Hold on, let's get to Negro Knights,
I'm
Negro
not
Black
answer the
Knights. What's
question
the
or
word? How you
but
feeling
I
today?
answer the question. Y'all don't think it was necessary to
Hello.
demystify
Hold
them?
on,
I
I'm
want to
gonna
go.
answer it after he goes. Hopefully he answers it.
All right. Thank you. I'm not even going to address that. I want to address the topic of the room. Thank you for having this space. I look at Charleston White as a hater of young black men. He wished death on that young man, Carmelo Anthony, right? Didn't have all the facts, but he wished death on him, just like he wishing death on another young black brother in the damn comments section, right? This is a grown man attacking our black youth, attacking our young black men, but you got goofies on this stage right now thinking that that's a cosign that old men should be preying upon young black children and young black men. I don't roll like that. I think that's unbecoming a man and not even being masculine. That's a coward, right? Wishing death on a young brother. You should be ashamed of yourself for even anybody that's operating in that manner. But he don't have that type of energy for white folks. And that's the problem that people such as myself, when I look at a Charleston White, I never seen him go off attacking white people who like shoot up these schools and all that other stuff. He don't go berserk on them. He don't run them down. He don't run a campaign, but he want to have the N-word nation, knowing that dang well that we're trying to fight and try to preserve our image as a people. That man is a coon in every sense of the word. And I'm standing on that. And anybody that's out here co-signing this man's actions and behavior, I think you should do a strong reevaluation of who you are as a man and as a person. Because this man wished death on a younger brother, and he's the older man. He's supposed to be the example, and he ain't the example. He's actually an outcast amongst some of the real men in society. No real man want to have that dumb idiot near us because he don't care about our people. He likes to profit off our people, no different from the dang white man. All right. So that's what I wanted to say
Y'all only
specifically
so offended
about.
because you idol worship. That's what the problem is,
Yeah,
bro.
no, brother. I don't idol worship.
Nigga
Don't
sound
even
like
throw
the
that on me
leader of
as
the
a
Koofy
Christian man.
gang.
Idolatry
Like,
is gonna send you to hell, brother.
How you feel
dude,
about
I don't
Tyler
idolize
Perry
no
and Young
man.
Thug and these niggas?
One mic. Let Negro finish, and then I want ODB to respond. Then we got Mr. Cummins,
Man, we got
and
a
then we'll
lot. We
put
got a lot of people that put their faith in other men instead of looking at their actions and behavior and how they treat our community. Like they like men that destroy our community and disrespect our youth and our children, I guess. Like I wouldn't want you around my damn child. I wouldn't want you around my children with that type of thought
all right.
process.
Go ahead, ODB. We got Mr. Cummins and Fresh and DB.
Yeah, bro. I just think the problem is like people, like you said, Rashad. I mean, maybe I don't know what the level is of like where people, how they view celebrities versus like how, the household they were growing up in. But maybe people do have a problem like digesting the message. You know what I mean? But I do know we end up having these conversations. And for me personally, the demystification of the rap shit that was going on, all of the campaigns around like the snitching or no snitching, bro. I already came up here before and I told you how I feel. I'm pro snitching, bro. I think that's one of that fake street shit that niggas be on because they like young 16-year-olds to be able to take charges for grown ass men because they said they're going to take care of them. Like, no, go ahead and snitch on that nigga, bro. Go ahead and snitch on that nigga. Go ahead. You got the rest of your life ahead of you, bro. So there's a lot of parts of what Charleston White says is right. You know what I mean? But also like, I don't know if y'all don't think that process needed to be done. And I don't know, I guess if y'all was doing it, how y'all would go about doing it, demystifying these rap stars like they actual something to like, you know, to aspire to
Yo,
be.
so you condone him attacking young black people, right? Like you got to stand on that, brother,
Do I
because I ain't
condone?
co-signing
Are
none
you
of his
asking me, do I
behavior.
condone everything Charleston White does? No, obviously not, bro. I don't condone everything. No, nobody
Then
does, bro. I'm a grown ass
then
man.
the
But
thing
you
is,
arguing, but you
no,
want to
no,
make a weird straw man
the
argument. I'm
thing,
not arguing
no,
against
Hold
it's
on,
you.
wait
not a
1 second.
straw
So
man.
you
It's not
got
a
it,
straw
bro.
man argument. I'm counting his
It's not
behavior
me versus
and
you. It's
how
you versus
he, wait,
Charleston White,
the
brother.
thing is this. The thing is this is ODB. He has threatened the life of another black person. See, I'm against black on black killing, brother, just for the record. That's something that we should not be doing or promoting.
You need
But
to
you
be in
think that that's
Chicago
cool,
and
but he
Atlanta
has
right
no smoke.
now.
No, hey,
Why
I
do you
think
keep
that I
saying I
think
do?
that
But hold on,
he ain't
nigga.
got,
Why you keep
but
saying
he
I
ain't
do
got
that when
no
I just told you I don't agree with everything he does, bro? I think
because
he has.
you out
So
here
don't
taking the
agree.
parts of his because you taking his word as something that should be amplified to build our discussion around instead of
Parts of
finding
it,
more of a suitable
parts of the
person that
conversation
has
for
of
sure.
merit.
Parts of the
No,
conversation
no,
has a
so.
space in
I
the
just want to
community.
ask this question. I'm gonna put this question out there, then we're gonna get to Mr. Cummins. What good is the message if the messenger doesn't receive it? What good's the message?
and
I would like
it
somebody to
is
answer
not
that. Go ahead,
good.
Mr. Cummins.
Does everybody have to get the message? Like,
Yo,
do
what's
you
up with
get
it,
the
everybody?
message? Like, come on.
No, not everybody's not gonna get the message, and that's what makes so. When it comes to Charleston White, he really remind me of my uncle, right? My uncle like 67 with a 5-year-old and fucking was shooting at somebody out on Kinsman and shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, and I had to tell my uncle, I had to sit my uncle down. He felt like I was questioning his manhood because I had to sit him down and be like, "Unc, you too old for that shit." You know what I mean? You too old to be fighting. You too old to be shooting at motherfuckers. And he like, what you mean? And I'm like, okay, what you gonna do? Fight me? And then he realized like, damn, my nephew will beat my ass. Yes, I would, So you need to stop the shit. Right? And Charleston White, right? If he really wants to talk about great leadership, great leaders, right? Don't talk about how they're great leaders. Their followers do. I don't see anybody go on a podcast and then attest their greatness to Charleston White, right?
ODB is. OD's attesting his greatness.
I just
Let Mr. Let Mr. Cummings finish. Go ahead,
even though
Mr. Cummings.
there's exceptions to rules, but I'm just being honest. Like you don't see people like rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. But Chadwick Boseman gave his flowers to Denzel Washington, right? Denzel Washington didn't come out and say like, oh yeah, I'm making these young actors. These young actors just came and attested their success to his leadership, right? If Charleston White was really that great leader he would be saying he is, then people would just be speaking on his behalf and saying like Charleston White changed my life, Charleston White, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? So not only is he giving the message that it's hard for me to believe, he's not preaching, he's not practicing what he preached, bro. You too old to be out there in boxing gloves, bro. Your ligaments can't handle a good punch, bro. They putting you out there against a weak young man just to feed your ego and you can't see it. Put it up, man.
Go ahead.
Charleston White.
Go ahead,
So
Fresh.
it's a song by Nas, right? It talks about this. He's like, Charleston White is in his second childhood, right? We call him a teener, as the brother just explained and said about his uncle, right? He had to get him out of that mindset. Charleston White wants the glory and the young nigga fame that he missed in his youth. That's what he wants. Like, cause if you're really about to change, as the brother just said, as the brother, the Negro Black Knights, as he just said, and as I said to start this off, like, you don't care about the glory. You care about the change. So I'm not going to adhere to the world for the change I'm looking for. I'm going to make the change. So I'm not going to come out talking like the young people I'm trying to change. Like, I'm not gonna have to do that. I'm gonna talk to them with respect. I'm gonna uplift them in the way that I want them to uplift themselves. I'm gonna be the example of what I am purporting, not an example trying to assimilate with them. That right there is counterintuitive and counterproductive. And that's what Charleston White is doing. It's double-minded. Right? Like, he wants to come off as an intellectual, but he wants to be a caricature, and he wants the glory and the entertainment value of that. Like, he wants to get the followers and all that things of that. That's why I compared him to Umar, and I'm not understanding like how some people don't see that direct point. They're saying, well, he does do some good. And it's like, brother, when he was working with congressional members and he was doing things in Houston and other places, that was respectful, bro. Like, you were making change. You don't need to see my name. You don't need to know my name to know I'm making change, because the work is going to speak for itself. And I'm going to be satisfied with the fact that I actually affected change in the community. And as the brother just said, others will speak about the effect. You won't have to uplift yourself. You won't have to praise yourself and, oh, I did this and I did this. No, others will say,
So I'm gonna
hey
just
man,
assume
Fresh
all of
did
y'all
this.
think all of the
Hey bro,
shit that's going on
can
in
I finish?
negative
Can we
urban
finish,
culture is
bro?
good though.
Hold on,
Can we finish,
ODB.
bro?
We got a lot
That's
of
what I'm saying.
hands. We got
And
to
I'm
get to the
gonna finish
hands. Let
up.
Fresh
Yeah, I'm
land.
finished up because I'm saying like if multiple people have come up here and give you multiple different analysis of this of this lens, and you keep pushing back with these certain questions that really are hollow, because of the fact that no, he's not doing good to the community. He is not saving anybody. He's just doing inflammatory shit for entertainment value. People have been calling out gang culture. He's not new to that. Rappers have been calling it out. People have been calling him corny. People have been conscious and doing this stuff forever. He's not new. He didn't invent the wheel. He wants
I
to be
didn't
on
say call out
Instagram.
gang culture, bro.
So
See,
hold
y'all
up.
fight straw man so hard
Let me
though.
finish.
Let him speak.
Let me finish. Exactly. So just like he talking about, he wants to help the
That don't
community.
make you right if another man said that.
What does going on 20 versus 1 have to do with helping the community? What does doing all this stuff have to do with the community? That man wants to be a celebrity, just like Umar. They want to be praised. They don't want change. They want to actually affect change.
Can I wait? Umar,
So
Hold on,
can I
wait.
ask my
Hold
question
on, hold on,
again,
hold on, hold
Rashad?
on. We
Can
got a
I
lot
ask
of
my
hands.
hold
We
on,
got a
Rashad?
lot of hands. Hold on, fellas. We got a lot of hands, and I see y'all hands.
But
We got to
niggas
get
trying
to
to
it. We got some
dogpile
folks that
though.
ain't spoke
So
yet.
let me just ask one question, bro. And if anybody brave enough, they can ask.
Man,
Do
we
you
don't want to
do
hear from
you
your
think
snitch ass
do
right now.
do you think the demystification of the rap industry was necessary? Yes or no, bro?
It's
No,
happened.
none of y'all.
What niggas saying is you can do that in a different way, but we gonna get back to you, DB. We got Dukester, we got Mushy, we got A-Dog. Go ahead. What's the word? How you
Niggas
feeling,
ain't getting no
Dukester?
solutions, just problems.
Dukester.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Yeah, Charleston White is a clown. Okay, he's a straight up clown. He's about 50 years old. He out around here when the dude got killed. When a little girl got killed, he said, "Fuck the baby." We need to stop. Are we really having this conversation about this dude? That's the reason why he's famous right now, because people don't get it. Us as black men, nah, man, this dude ain't. You talking about this dude is cool? Come on, man. That was wrong with the black youth. So we look up to little clowns like that. He ain't no Martin Luther King. He ain't no Malcolm X. He ain't nothing on that goddamn level. He's a clown. He's damn near close to a smoker. You the type of nigga you send him to the store. Hey man, go get these cigarettes, homie. Dude's a clown. Y'all gotta see this shit, man. My young brothers, y'all gotta see this. I don't care what he say. That's good. He talking about fuck that baby and she got killed in the car. A young black baby. Baby was only like 6 years old. He said outlandish things. That's why they put him in an algorithm like that. Cause he said the things that harm black people. You got a child that's 6 years old, got killed with her father, and he's trying to gain publicity off of it. And he cool? Come on, man. We gotta do better as black men, homie. Dude is not cool. He say outlandish things so he can blow up in his racist in his racist country where everybody gonna like it. Cause he's saying it. That's why he's famous. He said fuck Nipsey. He's talked about us like a dog. That dude
Yeah, I do think you getting a black person to be in those circles. Now, do I agree with everything that Nipsey did or the young man I forgot what his name was who
Young
did get
Dolph.
killed with his
Young
daughter?
Dolph.
Huh?
no,
No,
you
the
talking
guy
about
who
a
got
dude
killed
in
with his
Fort
daughter.
Worth that got killed with his baby at the car
Yeah.
wash.
Yeah, I think that getting like we got Jason Whitlocks of the world, right? We got Robert Griffin III's of the world, and where a black person seemingly being against black culture is going to get you a lot of money, right? Because that is what white people like to see, just in news, because it validates their perspective and their narrative of black culture as a whole. So we throw out like the Clarence Thomases of the world, all these guys, and we're look, these ones aren't like you. And I think that Charleston White is falling into that a little bit
See,
much,
he and
right? Where he sees that there's profitability in it, and so now he's leaning into it
exactly.
when it's opposite of the cause, right? I think him getting laws changed to benefit black people in the beginning, and now speaking out in these type of ways, and where yes, demystifying hip hop, I understand that. Demystifying rap and street culture, I understand that shit. You don't have to go in like he's going in to do that, because we're not looking at that anymore. Nobody's looking at Charleston White as a whole as this person who is trying to bring change to the black community. They're looking at Charleston White as the black man who loved Trump. They're looking at Charleston White as the black man who said he's going to kill these rappers and beat these rappers up. And I can't wait for you to touch me so I can retaliate. They're looking at him like that. So that's why I say he drinking the Kool-Aid, lost in the sauce, because whatever you think you're doing, that's not what the blogs are posting. They're posting you and your foolishness and your antics. They're not even posting the stuff that you're trying to do or get accomplished, because seemingly it's not that anymore. Go ahead, Mushy.
Yeah, man. Who was the brother that was just speaking? He's
Duke, sir.
yeah, Duke. Yeah, Duke is completely right with this shit, man. He's just a fucking clown. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you just was doing the shit the right way at first, now you coming up here talking something. Oh, I made snitching cool, or you know what I'm saying? He going at kids and talking down on us. That's all he does. You know what I'm saying? He's not here to uplift anymore. Like, all you doing is talking down on niggas and shit. You goddamn, if you know the struggle, why is you down in the struggle instead of trying to keep helping instead of going at motherfuckers? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the way you do it. You shut the fuck up and you keep your head down and you keep on trying to work and goddamn get the shit done.
Are you saying the same shit the last nigga
Hold on,
said?
let him
Who
get
else
it
can
off, hey
talk?
dog. We got you next.
Right. That's it. And then I just want to come up here. ODB, bro, you gotta stop with this goddamn snitching shit, bro.
No,
Like,
bro. No, listen. We can have a conversation about it, bro. This is what it is.
We're gonna have a
We can have
conversation about listen, we're gonna
yeah,
have a
we can have a
conversation about that,
conversation when
because
it's my
Mushy do
turn for
Man, he
sure.
better be snitching on them white folk. He
hold on,
better be
wait.
snitching on
Mushy
them
did
white
feel a
folks
way
and
about that, and I
immigrants.
think that is an interesting conversation for y'all two to have. But let's get to the hands first, and then we're gonna circle back to
all right,
that.
bet,
Should
go
we
ahead.
give a
Go
mic to
ahead.
somebody that got freaking what's that wrestler on his profile who's calling people the
Shut the
N-word?
fuck up, nigga. Nobody talking to you.
We don't need listen. We're not gonna get to this is not no back and forth bullshit. Right? Y'all can have a conversation without all that. Go ahead, A-Dog.
Exactly. Thank you, Rashad. Fist in the air. But so I wanted to speak to his methods, Charleston White's methods and how people don't like what he did. Obviously you're saying like something. You understand that he used to,
You breaking up, A dog?
you know, hello? Y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good. Go ahead.
All right. Y'all understand that he used to be for a quote unquote certain message or try to help the youth and things like that because he used to outwardly express that, that blatantly, that message explicitly. And he has stated before that he didn't see that message working at the rate that, he thought it should be. So he saw more kids and more youth gravitating towards the negativity. So he decided to use the negativity to troll that extremist, that violence, that whatever it is that we claim we don't like, but yet we defend the perpetuation of it onto, the youth and everything. And then when everyone says, oh shit, he's wilding out, it's like he's doing the exact same thing that half the rappers are doing out here. And then when other kids are like, or other people are like, oh shit, I fuck with him, it's like, do they actually fuck with the message that he's trying to, do they see through the double speak, the double whatever shit y'all say because you can't think both ways? It, or are they actually falling for, I can see the danger that y'all are saying that he's pushing. The same thing I would say with Nick Fuentes, that's another thing. But come on, y'all. There's a
Bro, get
method
the
to
hell out
people's
of here. Nick
madness.
Fuentes
Everybody's
is
yin and
fucking
yang. Like,
insane.
nobody is gonna think the same way that y'all do, so.
Man, this guy got a Hulk Hogan thing. This is
Hold,
why we should
hold
listen to
on,
these
hold on, hold on,
coons.
hold on, hold on.
Nigga, shut up, you
That's
dumb.
just what he likes to do. All right, that's just what he likes to do. You got to come around. That's who A Dog is. But listen, let me ask you a
She
question.
Hulk
Let
Hogan.
me ask you a question, A Dog and DB or ODB.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan
Um,
and Charleston White
hold
won
on,
the
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I just want to ask y'all a question because y'all seem to be pro Charleston White's
I
methods,
don't agree
right?
with A Dog though. He talking about me. He
Yes,
talking
sir.
about
Yes,
me.
I'm
sir.
So,
strongly against what A
No, no.
Dog and
So let me.
ODB saying.
yeah, so I understand what you're saying. You're against the Nick Fuentes. Let me get the question out, fellas. So, because you guys seem pro his methods, um, you can't, in my opinion, you can't separate the person from the character when all we see is the character, right? At some point, this is you, because this is the only thing that you are showing us every time your ass get in front of a camera.
You
Right?
never
From the
listen to what he said.
20v1s to all this other shit. This is all you're showing us. So how can we separate that from who you quote unquote are? That's a
You never
legitimate
heard when
question.
he said "fuck Nipsey Hussle."
Rashad, hang on. Let me
Hold on,
answer
hold
that
on, hold on,
question.
hold
Let me
on.
answer that question.
Hey, dog, you
Rashad,
never, Rashad, you never heard it.
all
Hold
right,
on, you
go ahead,
never
go
heard
ahead,
him
go
say
ahead, go
when he
ahead,
said
go
"fuck
ahead.
Nipsey Hussle," bro.
Yes, I
So
heard
you
that.
didn't, you listened to the whole clip when he definitely he went in there and said, I'm sorry about the man, but he said "fuck Nipsey Hussle," and he went and explained the whole shit that he was saying.
He likes
But
Hermes.
ODB,
He
this is
doesn't
what
like
I'm
Nipsey.
saying.
He
He said he
likes
likes Hermes.
Hermes.
Exactly. He said he likes Hermes. He's like, but like, so that's exactly what he's talking about. So if you're not, now my problem, what y'all keep saying is, maybe it's a level of like, that message is necessary. What I'm saying. I don't agree with everything or the way that he does everything, but the demystification, if we both can agree that it's necessary and you don't got no plan to do it, you don't know nobody that got no plan to do it, but it needs to be done. Well, hey, fuck it. Let that nigga do it. He doing it the way that he's doing it. That's the way, but not,
Thank you.
and
Rashad,
not,
let
and
me
not,
answer
and
your
the
question.
only reason that y'all end up getting so angry about it, I think y'all, you can see the level of idolatry worship where people get offended by it. Cause I don't care about Charleston White, yay or nay, for real. But he does have some shit that he's right on, but he got some shit that he wrong on too.
Bro,
So
what is
like,
the
I don't see what's wrong with
idolatry?
saying that.
Okay,
Hold
hang
on,
on,
wait, let A
Rashad, let
Dog
me
answer
answer
the
your
Gives
question.
a
question.
shit.
Go
No,
ahead, A
no.
Dog.
Okay, hang on. If you can repeat your question real quick, because I feel like I knew exactly what the fuck.
You are, it's difficult to separate Charleston White, the person in Charleston White, the character, because the only thing that he shows us is the character. And
Okay,
so,
my
do
question,
you?
my answer. I'm gonna answer your question with a question. Do you think that you're at any point in time are you able to know what's in somebody's heart?
Sometimes,
It's
not always.
rhetorical. The answer is no, but no matter what action, somebody who you deem as bad, who you've seen do bad shit for as much as you've known them, and keep in mind, we only see these people through cameras. We were talking about somebody else before, Jocelyn. It's like, oh, she's good or she's bad. We've only seen her through cameras. She knew cameras were on her. She acts a certain way. Anyway, we only see that. So if we judge someone through what we see through a camera as good or bad, and then when they do something that's the opposite of what we deem them, can we say, oh, that thing, that good or whatever bad thing that they're doing isn't that because we have this opposite perception of them? Like, this whole shit is very complex, and it seems like us just looking at a one-track thing the whole time, and if someone doesn't align with that shit, then it must mean like, what, they're crazy, they're wrong, they're bad. It's like, I don't know. It just seems
I
That
think
ridiculous.
if he's using his social media as a medium to get his message out, right? Because we're not looking for Charleston White to make quote unquote change in the community in a motherfucking magazine or a newspaper, right? We're looking for what he is doing based on what he's telling us. So it is double-mindedness in where you're trying to speak to what you're doing in the community and tearing down the community at the same time. And then now you're not even necessarily speaking towards what you're doing, because at the end of the day, he's not slow. So if he says fuck Nipsey Hussle, we're going to see that, right? And nobody is going to talk about the other stuff because that is what's most front facing. If you are talented enough and educated enough to get your message out without the salaciousness, I think that would be more speaking towards, Charleston White and who he is, but he's not. He only can get
But
this message
one
out
last thing.
with this foolishness.
One last thing. I'll respond and let everybody else go. If you look at Charleston White through the lens of like Sasha Cohen, the dictator, fucking Borat, shit like that, with obviously through the black Southern, Uncle Ruckus lens, you see that they're trying to display a message through a certain satire, through a certain sarcasm, through a certain type of rhetoric, like an art form. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I can't raise niggas' intellects in an hour, so.
see with that
My
qualifier
dad
bullshit.
said,
Niggas
life
are
ain't a game and these niggas playing. And so
Shout out to Nick Fuentes.
when you talking about getting through to community and community things that are generationally detrimental to community, and you bringing up words like satire, like, nigga, this ain't no goddamn game. What is we talking about?
Satire and compared to drugs, violence,
Please,
uh,
Rashad.
any amount of
Yeah,
crime.
this
It
ain't.
doesn't matter what type of lifestyle you're into. Compared to all the crime and the glorification of the crime, you're mad at Uncle Ruckus? Yo, stop. This is enough.
He's a
Enough.
part of the problem too, but
This is exactly
go
why
ahead,
Aaron
Memphis.
McGruder stopped making Boondocks.
Hey,
Go ahead, Memphis.
That's not
dog,
exactly
come
why he
on, baby,
made stop
please.
making Boondocks. Stop it.
Hold on, wait, Mr. Cummings.
Hello,
We got you.
hello, thank you. Uh,
Read me the
I
brochure.
excuse me, please. Y'all have had a sausage fest for the last hour. Can a woman please speak? There is never a fucking day on this motherfucking earth that it is okay for a grown ass man to get his ass on the fucking internet and threaten to kill a motherfucking kid. I don't give a fuck what that kid said to you. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? The fact that this man actively goes on the internet and attempts to troll and trick people off they motherfucking square is crazy as hell. He is a problem for the black community. He is in no way, shape, or form a help. Because as soon as he meets someone with his small ass intellect and they actually shoot that bitch ass nigga, then we got a motherfucking another problem in the goddamn black community. What the fuck is this goddamn conceptualizing and intellectualizing this degenerative ass behavior? I don't understand it. This shit he does is not acceptable. Does Boosie deserve to go to jail for being on live with a goddamn pistol in his motherfucking back pocket? Absolutely. The nigga's stupid as hell. Should that kid not have taken his ass on the internet to respond to that troll? Absolutely. But at one point, do we start goddamn doing better and how we interact with each other, especially on this fucking internet. This shit is too global. People see this shit all over the world. And for some people, who he is who all of us are, is a representation to them of who we all are in this room right now. And that's some bullshit. That ain't no shit I'm ever capable for.
Go ahead, Mr. Cummings, and then Fresh, and then Negro.
So, I feel like nobody addressed the point me and Fresh, I've been calmly waiting, but like nobody addressed the point me and Fresh said about how there's no other influencers attesting their greatness to Charleston White. Like, I understand that may have some fans of him, you know what I mean, whether they say how much, to what degree of a fan they are, right? No, they're still not, there's been valid points made that they refuse to rebut. And, he's still the old crazy unk. They not talking about, it's I think it's crazy the fact that he can have all these actions and then go on podcasts and we talk about, man, he talk good in the podcast. So I just like, okay, I really want to open my section up to answer that. Like, can y'all answer that? Like, are you,
Yeah, the naysayers ain't up here no
they
more.
not? Oh, okay.
No, and that's the problem, brother. And that's the thing, right? They want to troll. That's why they agree with him, because that's what they want to do, even in these space. Like, we really have actual, like, full spectrum conversations, and like Rashad really tries to facilitate that. And yes, there's going to be some entertainment, there's going to be time for laughs in there, but that we actually get to the crux and the nitty gritty of conversation. We talk about a myriad of things, from entertainment to political landscape, and they don't want to do that. Like the brother, he got
And
up,
they dip out.
yeah, he got up here and did everything he said, right? He got up here and told me I was wrong, right? Then did not answer to why I was wrong, right? And then like they get up here and they say like, oh, the trolling and all these things, like and talked about demystification. People have been demystifying hip hop and gang culture, all these things for years. They're not inventing the wheel, and they've actually done it better. They have actually changed more actual lives on the landscape. This might be one of the first generations, right? Because the last generation, we're seeing it die out. This is one of the first generations where gang culture is not that enriched. I'm in the school systems where they actually are starting to look at it as lame, where more kids don't see like doing right as such a bad thing. Like, you're seeing a small shift. What you're seeing is the mainstream media continue to push bullshit, right? Because they are losing the grip. That's why graphics.
Yeah, for real though. Like,
That's
rap culture is the reason why we have 988 now.
that's why
Like,
graphics.
it's 911, right, for like emergencies, but like if there's like a mental health emergency and you really about to stress out and shoot this nigga, you can dial 988 and someone
You've
will
been
call
I
nine.
don't
listening
know
to
how
too
that's
much
on
Gucci
Now let
platforms.
Mane.
me.
I don't know how that's on music. But hold on, A Dog, let
No,
Negro
it's
go,
part of
and then
advocacy,
you can
but
answer Mr.
we can
Cummings'
talk
question.
later about that later.
Go ahead, Negro.
Okay, so one of the things that I look at Charleston White is the perpetrator of inter-ethnic racial discrimination and bias, right? This man is willing to harm our own people, but he has no smoke for the white man or the dominant society. That's the one thing that I see as a continual behavior. One of the things that I talk about is, I look at him as a form of a scammer, no different from a Dr. Umar, but from a different perspective. And this is what I call a social media Negro called Cassidy accuser and scammer. He goes online accusing people from our community of doing certain things, good, bad, or indifferent, with the intentions of profiteering off of those things as a hustle to create a political agenda against our people, right? That's negative. So he'll talk about the gang culture, this, that, and the third, even though black American people have almost digressed away from gangbanging in general due to the fact that the laws that has gang injunction laws, depending on the state, that put that put high amount of years on black folks and a whole bunch of other things. Wait, man, wait.
Hold on, wait. Let him finish.
Yeah, so
We're
the
about to round
point
this
that
one out.
the thing is that he has this political agenda that he's waging against our community from a white supremacist perspective and or narrative, with the intentions of aiding in a genocide against our people. Because we know that the criminal justice system is unfair in how they treat our people. We know that we can't get justice anywhere due to the fact we don't even have reparations and repair. So when you have somebody who is willing to shout white supremacy lines but won't shout that we need per se reparations, that's a problem, especially with a platform that he has. So those are just some of the things I do want to highlight, and the reason why he is a scammer to a certain extent.
Go ahead, A Dog. Then we got Fresh. We're gonna round this out.
All I was gonna say is, obviously everything I explained was disregarded because I laid it out pretty clearly. of how he did exactly what y'all think a black person should do when trying to help the youth, underprivileged youth, things like that. And he saw that it wasn't working and they were more influenced by the negative parts of the culture. And so he decided to use those negative parts of the culture as a theme to make it look ridiculous as the Boondocks was intended to do. I don't understand how people are saying and just be like, you know what? Anyone who supports him is stupid and racist. But it's like y'all are gonna keep doing the same exact thing that hasn't been helping black people for how long until you realize that niggas are gonna get fed up and start doing, oh shit, let me go the opposite side of the coin and see what other niggas are doing and let me try to use that. Like, we can't just keep doing the same fucking shit all the time.